Hello, SNA assassinators. Sorry what happened there. Having some connection difficulties on my webcam that just made me cut out for a second. I don't know why and what was wrong with that, but luckily I managed to make a second clip of the podcast. And as I was saying before, I got interrupted onto the first video. Orange Cat got back in the ring. Heyman Adam Page then beat him to it when it comes to the next round of offense. When I'm going to try to go for a closeout, but this is where Orange Cassidy tricked him. Like if he cannot do any other moves, just kick him right into the face. This is where we got Orange Cassidy then go for an elbow right into the face as well to add damage into the face of Hangman. So he tried to go over a crossbody when he was hanging off the middle rope, but he gets caught by Hangman. He gets fall away slam. This is where we got Hangman going for a pin, but this is where Orange Cassidy kicked out at the last second. This is where then it was not exactly last, but right near at 2.8. This is where then we got Hangman Adam Page. Then it picks up Orange Cassidy. But the Heyman Irish whipped him right to the corner, but it's where he gets a running kick right into the face by Orange Cassidy, interception. This is where Orange Cassidy went right back to the same corner in the right side. That's where Orange Cassidy tried to go for a wheelbarrow DDT, but where Heyman stopped it. That's where we knew what was going to happen next, despite Heyman was about to hit a suplex on him, but that turned into the Stun Dog Millionaire. That's where he sent him right to the left side. Is where we got Orange Cassidy then got himself right back up. This is where then he was on fire. This is where he then went right to the right corner side. He hit a suicide dive or suicida, what AEW like doing, refer to it as. This is where Hangman Page caught him and then slams him back first right into the apron, and then he picks him up into a pop-up power bomb. But this is where Orange Cassidy flipped right out of it. This is where we got him running up to Hangman Page. But this is where Hangman he gets grabs onto him, hits a fallaway slam right into the ramp. This is where then Hangman Page then start having start doing more of his damage maneuvers onto the freshly squeezed Orange, like beat him up to the point that there's no juice left in him. But yeah, he did everything that he can, like he did everything, beat everything out of him except for juice, like which is unfortunate on the behalf of Hangman, but Orange Cassidy continue to persevere. This is where we got Hangman Adam Page about to hit the buckshot lariat. This is where then we got Orange Cassidy that went right to the right corner side. Hangman then boots Orange Cassidy right into the jaw and right to the right side. This is where we got Hangman throws Orange right back in the ring. This is where Orange Cassidy onto Hangman Adam Page. This is where then Orange Cassidy to roll right to the bottom corner side with Hangman Adam Page was about to hit the buckshot lariat. This is where Hangman Adam Page then grab onto Orange Cassidy. This is where Orange then about to hit one move, but he shot something at him. He's like, what you got to do? Yourself. This is where then Orange Cassidy then did nothing but put his hands in his pocket, like to make this a limb-free kind of contest with him having no limbs in the fight. This is where Hangman Page pushed him right back in the bottom corner side. Once Orange Cassidy bounced right back into that in the corner, this is where Hangman got a tip for a close-up. This is where Cassidy ducks, and he hits a middle drop kick, sending Hangman Adam Page right to the bottom left side. This is where Hangman then went right to the corner. This is where we got Hangman Adam Page try to go for a close-up. This is where Orange Cassidy dodges out of the way, went right to the bottom left side, hits Hangman Adam Page's face first right into the turnbuckle, and then he bounced right to the upper left side. This is where he went right to the bottom left. This is where then we got Orange Cassidy started doing it repeatedly. Like when the fans were like, one more time. That's exactly what he did. This is where then we got. And what else happened? It was what happened next? It was, and then this is where then we got. What happened next? It was This is where they got Orange Cassidy started stomping on him. First it was teeny tiny stomps, then they did more hard and major. This is where Heyman out of Page grabs his leg. This is where he spins him around, try to go for a clothesline interception. This is where we got what's his name, try to go for a lariat attempt. Connected on Hangman, but the thing is, Hangman was still standing, so he just knocked him out right off his feet. Hangman then went right into this corner on the right side. Hangman out of Page was begging Orange Cassidy to get right back up, so he hit the buckshot lariat. But it's where Orange Cassidy hits the beach break out of nowhere, just picks him up and landed right to the ground in the middle of the canvas. This is where Orange Cassidy tried to go for a pin, but it's where Hangman out of Page kicks out at the last second of 2.999999999. 9999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. Orange Cassidy then tried to go for an orange punch. That's where Orange Cassidy tried to go for an orange punch when he took off his elbow pad, but this is where I believe Heyman out Page countered out of it. This is where then he picks him up, try to go for the dead eye, but he ends up getting sunset flipped by Orange Cassidy for almost a near fall. But it's where once both men got back up, Orange Cassidy ends up hitting the orange punch, which it was the third time as a charm, because the last 2 times it was double cursed. I totally forgot to say it in the first place, but this is where Orange Cassidy to make up for it again the second straight orange punch, like making it a grand slam of luck. We got now we found the 3-leaf clover of third time as the charm. Just where then Orange Cassidy tried to go for the orange punch yet again, but this is where Heyman out Page kicks him right in the face before he can hit the move, but he hit a quintet orange punch finally. But once he hit with that move, it's where once he turned around, it's where when he was stumbling, it's where Heyman out Page hits the buckshot lariat out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Winner of his match, Hangman Adam Page. And yeah, this match, definitely gets the bronze trophy, because these guys, even though this is the first time they ever fought each other in over 5 years, like with them being in AEW since 2019, but they have never crossed paths in a one-on-one contest. And this is the first night that they did so tonight. Yeah. But this is where it was not over yet, because Hangman Adam Page did a post-match beatdown, even ended it by hitting a dead eye. But this is where Christopher Daniels said, all right, that's enough. This is where he started arguing with him. This is where the former EVP and incompetent ball biscuit head was arguing with Hangman. This is where Hangman came in and attacked him, started just hitting him with a right hand, started beating him with right hands right to the face. And then this is where we got Hangman Adam Page. And this is where he threw what's his name, Orange Cassidy, right into Symbol of Steel steps. This is where he started stomping onto to Christopher Daniels. This is where the referee's like, all right, that's enough. This is where then he left out of there. And this is where I was saying, like this means that Christopher Daniels is gonna get back in the in-ring competition in AEW. And do you guys think that that's the case, and that's why Hangman Adam Page did what he did in question? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But it's where Switchblade Jay White did. And it was like I would be AEW World Champion if it wasn't for that meddling protege of Moxley. And yes, I'm talking to you, Yuta. And it was like I would be champion if you didn't decide to jump over and on top of the referee and stop him and attack him. He cost me the moment and cost me the top prize of All Elite Wrestling. And he cost me my moment. And that makes me feel absolutely. I'm not sure if I should explain it, because the words will not lead me into justice. And I'm like, yeah, it's absolutely true. So you got to find a way to get back in the title picture. Considering that you were the one that took the pinfall. But this is where Switchblade Jay White then made that into a statement by saying stating that how about I fight you, Yuta, and I can get my way back into getting back into the title scene. This is where he's like, and I'm gonna get my way up over and over again. Even if I have to take out every single member of the Death Riders until I get to Moxley and anybody else that try to step right in front of my way of getting what I want here in AEW, I will pull the trigger and let it out. And the Switchblade will have his moment, and he will, and this will be his year of 2025. And this is where he's gonna prove it right tonight when he's gonna face Roderick Strong and Swerve Strickland, who's gonna get the advantage. That's where we got a very interesting tag team match, which I'll give the blue ribbon because there's not enough room for the trophies. And it was the Hurt Syndicate, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley against the Acclaim. And two amazing things that I learned tonight. That one, like Max Caster did not have a microphone to freestyle. Maybe it had something to do with Anthony Bowens, which he was asking questions before they came out there. It was like, he was like, I'm gonna ask you this once. Like, did you purposely attack me, hit me with that belt this past Friday on Rampage while fighting Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor Championship or not? And then this is where Max Caster denied it, and people, which maybe it's for the best, even though it would be very him the thrive with the brutal faction that takes care of business and takes care of and solve their problems with a brutal fight and a beat down, not to mention. But yeah, first of all, that, and second of all, like, this must be the first time I saw Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley team up in a tag team match, like as a duo. But the last time I saw them team was like probably all the way back in 2020 in that 6-man tag match over at the other company. But yeah, like, period is a tag team in a tag team match. But that's where we got Bobby Lashley start things off with Max Caster to slam him right to send Max Caster in the face and start stomping on him right to his own corner. This is where then he right. And that's where the fans start chanting for Bobby because, yeah, he's a future main event star in the company, just like he was in the last couple of places he wrestled once or twice at the Stanford company, while Nashville once and a couple other places. But this is where we got Bobby Lashley sends Max right to the upper right side, spears him right in the midsection. This is where he started doing repeatedly with the arm let go in the next 10 seconds is where, or not 5 seconds actually, what am I even saying? But this is where he let go at 3. This is where then he tags in Shelton Benjamin because what's his name went right into the outside, the top corner spot, and this is where he instructed him to go get him and throw him right to what's his name what's his name? I call him Aaron the Apron, but it's what's his name? I totally forgot what his name is. But yeah, he throws him right there, like not once but twice, and also throw him right to Barry's top corner. Just where we got Anthony Bowens was like, oh yeah, like if you're gonna do that to someone like him, like how about do it to me? This was something like you're not the legal man, so stay into your corner until you get tagged in, and then you'll be my problem. This is where then Shelton Benjamin throws him right back in the ring. This is where we got the standard of excellence. Then picked up the self-proclaimed best wrestler alive. This is where he about to hit a back suplex on him, but catched the flip right out of it. He did cartwheels right into Anthony Bowens for a tag. This is where Anthony Bowens then hilariously and sarcastically must have said, like, okay, now I'm your problem now. This is where then he started going for clotheslines, which he might have regretted, just hurry up and just try to make a hasty decision that way. But luckily he thought twice and he had enough time to redo what he should have done when he got tagged in. He dodged out of a clothesline, hits a discus elbow right to Bobby. This is where then he go back to Shelton. And then start hitting some right hands on his own, like right after he blocked Shelton Benjamin's right punch. This is where he does the scissor thing, the hand gesture, hits a big uppercut right to the chin. He kicks Shelton Benjamin right into the gut, kicks him right in his head. This is where Anthony Bowens went right to the right side. This is where he hits a slide kick right to the back of the knee. This is where Anthony Bowens it's putting more where that came from. So he's putting a knife edge chops and the super kick. This is where he kicks him right into the head. This is where then we got right to the right side is where he gets tagged in by Max Caster in a heelish fashion. This is where once he did so, this is where he's definitely a heel because this is where fans start booing as soon as he did so when he got in the ring. And if this is not a heel turn right here tonight, I don't know what else to tell you because, if this was the plan, like for him to get booed out of the building, it definitely worked in plenty of ways. It's when Anthony Bowens was like, what the hell is that all about? Like, I was about to finish him off, but you interrupted. This is where Max Caster was but I know that you did, but I thought we were going to work together as a team. This is where Andy Bowles okay, I did my part. Now it's time to yours. But once he tried to run up to Shelton Benjamin, this is where he hits a German suplex, but not once and not twice, but thrice, which Shelton Benjamin was like, yeah, do more. Just send the crowd home happy. This is where then Shelton Benjamin then went right into to the bottom left corner side is where we got Anthony Bones. Like, okay, like if you want to so bad, like if you want to be in the ring with Shelton so bad, like I'm gonna let you. This where then he did not stay on the apron on this corner. He just went right. He was right in the left side, watching like if he's like watching in the ring side, like a what's that called? Like a guy that sits in the corner with his teammate, like that's not even in the match. This is where Shelton been. I mean, this is where Bobby Lashley just tagged him by Shelton. This is where Shelton hit the back flatliner, then hits him with a one claw Uranagi slam to put Max Caster in the hurt lock. This is where. That's where what's that? Anthony Bones like, yeah, that's what you get, you selfish a-hole. And I was like, yeah, he's been quite selfish in this team. So you cannot really blame Anthony Bowens to feel that way because he just tagged him for no given reason, tagged himself in the match like for himself and trying to brag that everybody needs him more than the other way around, which that's not even the case. It seemed like that Maximilian needs Anthony like more than that Anthony does with him. But it's where that we saw the Hurts. This is where we saw Bobby. Not just Bobby, but also MVP join Bobby and Shelton like to celebrate their latest win. And what do you think? What's next for this team? Like, and do you think that we're going to see a potential split very soon? And can we see a very bizarre and shocking twist that we see that Max Caster was secretly working with the Hurt Syndicate all along? And do you think if that happens, do you think it's the best way to split them up? Let me know in the comments down below. But let's move on with Swerve Strickland. Like, was in the backstage interview with Alex Marvez with his assistant Prince Nana. This is where Swerve Strickland was like, this is where he's like, I hear those fans like right in the audience, and I apologize. Like, yeah, they've been going city after city chanting my name, and they know whose house it is. This is where the fans start chanting, "Whose house? Swerve's house. Whose house? Swerve's house." Repeatedly, like about probably over 100,000 times. This is where Swerve Strickland's like. And he's like, and if anybody in this world like that show like like that was a victim of like to the man that everybody's shouting like in the had the year of 2024 of whose house, like if fans are chanting Swerve's house very loud and clear. Then they were chanting it. This way like. He's like, and I got myself a spot in a single in the what they call in the casino gauntlet match, and then I get it up in, I get up. This is where he's like, and yeah, like I've been in these type of matches before, but like you know why? And this is where Alex Marvez was as like let me answer back like yeah I know why. And this is where Swerve was like why? And this is where he's like it's because you were the world champion. This is where Swerve was like yeah. Exactly, and you can see me do that again. This is where Alex Marvez like, yeah, like there's a possibility. This is where the person now is like, oh, one more thing, sir, like. Happy New Year, everybody! And this is where he said it right into the front of the camera with a huge grin, which he cracked me up. Which this is what's going to get the golden trophy of the night with him doing the swerve dance because he's doing that out of comedy because it's starting to be like a very funny slogan as of late. Even though he got his license like about how many months ago? Like 9 months ago. But anyways, it's where. Or I could be wrong. I think it's probably 8 months ago. But moving on, we got Jamie Hayter taking on Julia Hart. And yeah, this match was one of the second place spots of the night. Like with women finally throw down like after weeks of hyping things up and having us waiting with suspense. Like when is Julia Hart's going to be competing right back in the ring and in her in-ring return in over 8 months, I believe. But well, yeah, this is where we finally get to see it. And Anthony Khan made the right decision of picking the right girl to win this match, like considering the return and all. But yeah, anyway, this is where we got We got what's her name? Julia Hart pushes Jamie Hayter after they're grappling. This is where we got a wrist lock kind of hold right onto Jamie from Julia. This is where Julia slipped her back of her head first. This is where Jamie Hayter got back up and arm dragged her right to the bottom of the. This is where fans start chanting for Jamie. This is where Jamie was like, "Yeah, I thank you, like kind people in Asheville." This is where then. That's where both women then end up going for the second round, going for a grappling war. But this is where Julia only got one forearm strike first. But this is where Jamie Hayter did the rest, right into the right corner side, hitting repeated forearm strikes where she throws it from dipping into the right corner to the left corner. This is where she goes for a hip toss, like then turned to a neck breaker. This is where Jamie Hayter did. Up is where she was like, all right, get up, like go over there, right into the upper right corner side is where Jamie Hayter went right to the bottom left side is where she was kneeling down. Like, all right, let's go for a little ride. Is where she goes for a little clothesline on the Julia Hart. Is where then we got Jamie Hayter then. And try to go for one last time, third time's the charm. And that's what she did, but unfortunately it wasn't. This is where she gets elbow right to the face instead by Julia Hart. And this is where that she goes for a double elbow strike right into the back of the former AEW World Champion. This is where she tried to throw Jamie Hayter right onto the someone still steps face first, but this is where she ends up getting reversed out of it, and she gets the hit face first by Jamie. This was trying to go for a suplex, but this is where Jamie Hayter countered and slammed Jamie's back of her head right onto the steel steps instead. This is where she throw it right to the barricade. This is where she got. It's where they're fighting around in the ringside area with what's the name? Where Jamie Hayter was back in the offense through her and Barry's tombstones. Where then we got that's where we saw what's her name? Julia Hart then going for a clothesline. Is where then she just started going for a stomp right onto the neck and the head of the current AEW, former AEW Women's Champion. It's where what's her name? Aubrey Edwards is like, all right, you did enough damage. Just like stop it. And this is where she let go of her. This is where but this is where we got. This is where Jamie Hayter got back in control, going for headlocks. But this is where this is where she nearly hit her with a lariat. This is where Julia Hart ducks out of the way, runs to the right corner side. This is where she nearly ends up getting British curse backbreaker, if that's the right term to use. But this is where she sent it right to the bottom right corner side. This is where she started hitting some stomps on her, stomping a complete mud hole onto the female member of the House of Black. This is where until Aubrey Edwards told her to stop when she was at 4.5. This is where she runs right back trying to go for a clothesline. This is where we got Julia Hart go for a double foot stomp. This is where we got Julia having to go right up on the top on the bottom right side. Try to go for a moonsault, but this is where Jamie Hayter moves out of the way. This is where she try to go for the lariat, but this is where Julia ducks out of the way. This is where she hits a leg sweeping STO, which she must be a Karate Kid fan. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but however she got denied by Jamie Hayter with a kick out of 2.7. This is where then we got Julia Hart going for that. Going for this little abdominal stretch like crossface sleeper hammerlock maneuver. That's where Hayter picked her right back up, spin her around. This is where then we got Jamie Hayter then picks her up and tried to go for a vertical slam, which he spun around and eventually did, and hit her into a neck knee to the neck breaking Death Valley Drive version of a Death Valley Driver, which I was kind of happy that Jamie did that. This is where we got Jamie then go for a clothesline. This is where then we got Aubrey Edwards going for a cover. But this is where Julia Hart gets the left shoulder up at 2.8, and this is where then Aubrey Edwards unfortunately she kicked out just 2 inches away from being 3. This is where we got that's where Jamie Hayter was trying to choke her out a bit. This is where Aubrey was like, you can't do it here on the upper right side. This is where then Jamie Hayter's like, all right, I got a better move to do that. You don't have to worry about me counting me out. This is where we got. That's where Julia Hart was at least five seconds ahead of her. This is where she moved out of the way. This is where she swept her legs, showing her references of her fandom of being a Karate Kid fan. And this is where then we got Jamie Hayter fell back first, where then she was holding on to her left arm. on the left shoulder, like was giving her the blues because she hit hard right into the ground. But it's where we got Julia was nearly about to hit her with her arrow that she been using with her vignettes, but this is where luckily Ariel got it out of her hands. Where then we got Jamie Hayter try to go for the lariat again. She must be double cursed because it gets countered by what's her name, Julia Hart. Julia Hart then spats a miss on her face. She then rolled her up into the surprise roll up, 1, 2, 3, or something like that. Like. What? No, it wasn't a finisher. She was about to hit her with the. But that's where I'll be able to. That's where then she. That's where she spent the mist into the eyes. That's where then she goes for the cover, just the pin. With Aubrey Edwards couldn't see it. That's where she got the 1, 2, 3. Like if she's on WWE Fight. I mean, the AEW Fight Forever. I apologize if I said the other company. But yeah, this is where. She gets the win, and I think Anthony Khan did a pretty good job making her the victor into tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. And some of those Jamie Hayter fans, don't worry, like this won't be the last time they will encounter each other. This is probably the beginning. Like, and we'll see them like cross paths yet again, but just wait patient, and it's only just a matter of time when that does happen. But what if it's gonna be like at. What if it's going to be at, what's that called? What's that at an event? Well, even if it's at Maximum Carnage, I believe that which is going to be in the next 2 weeks, which we're going to have the AEW World Championship. But it's where we got a vignette of Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, which they were basically telling each other they only got one win out of each other, with Kyle Fletcher beating Will at Full Gear, while Ospreay beat Kyle Fletcher at World's End. Like, and there's gonna be a part 3. And I was like, gee, I wonder where that's gonna be. Like, and that's gonna be. I'm saying something that's right because I just rhymed right there, even though it was kind of obvious what I was about to say for onto this matter. And when do you think they're gonna have their part 3 trilogy match located at? Is it gonna be at AEW? Maximum Carnage, or is it going to be on Grand Slam in February? Let me know down in the comment section down below. But moving on, we got you got some hype up about the Kazuchika Okada won the Continental Classic and retained his Continental Championship, and this won his 5th international wrestling tournament that every promotion he wrestled for. And I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, and you're going to keep promoting him like this, even though it's their jobs to doing so, because they cannot be biased. Like, and they got to give credit when credit is due. And I got to admit, like, he did a very impressive job. And this is very rare for me to do to the bitch man that claims the control of the reign. I'll take congratulations to you, and yeah, that's all you're gonna be getting from the Super Ninja Assassin like at this time. But this is where we got. But this is where the show that Kenny Omega like could be making his return sooner rather than later. Well, he will be making an appearance next week on AEW, and I could have sworn they said that he's gonna be doing he's gonna be in action, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm looking at it looking at it out of context, but they said they will be seeing him next week when he returns to AEW Dynamite. So make sure to stay tuned for next week's show, and let me know in the comments what exactly do you think he's gonna be doing. Is he gonna be? Is he gonna be? What's that? Is it going to be is Kenny Omega going to be in a match, or is he going to be in a segment? But we do have Gabe Kidd this Sunday at Wrestle Dynasty for the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, and maybe he's going to add more gold to into his collection, just like another fellow AEW wrestler is already doing, with the other Strong Championship. Like, speaking of which, of that wrestler, we're going to get into talking about him right after this segment. But Kazuchika Okada, message that he sent to Kenny Omega on his little vignette, he's like, This is where he's like, Kenny Omega, welcome back. But one thing you need to do me a favor. Do me a favor is stay away from my business. And he kissed his fans like, mwah. And then this is where he's like, how many times do I have to beat you to knock the sense out of you? And then he end the promo by saying the favorite word, and that is biscuit, iced tea, chicken, hotcakes. And no, he was not talking about not a sweet, refreshing. A sweet, refreshing beverage, or not sweet, but maybe bittersweet, refreshing beverage with a side of a chicken biscuit and a stack of pancakes, I guess you could say. But he mocks my boy Kenny Omega, and I'm like, how dare you? And I said it with this exact voice. He hopefully he gets what's coming to him, and I sure hope that Kenny Omega does be the one to dethrone what's his name, the rainmaking or the so-called rainmaking bitch, man. And do you agree with the assassin? Do you think it should be Omega that should dethrone him? No matter what, let me know in the comment section right down below. I would like to hear y'all's opinions right here on the podcast. And also, and what else? And what else I have to say about what happened next? And oh yeah, what am I saying right now? All right, oh yeah, that's what I need to say. And when do you think this match is going to take place? It's going to be at AEW Grand Slam or AEW Revolution or even Double or Nothing, because this is a match that's too big to be on regular TV on a regular episode on a weekly televised episode to be the exact of AEW Dynamite or even Collision. Like it has to be on a pay-per-view level, like when they do have this match and when Omega might likely would win that Continental Championship, But it's where we move on to the next slide when we get back into the ring with the red carpet been pulled out. And I was like, I wonder who this might be. And I swear, like this is where I must have turned into a Super Saiyan, because I was like, if I haven't already even guessed like who it is that was the red carpet being pulled out when it comes to celebrations of a title retained. And I swear, yeah, like I must be part Super Saiyan or something, because I felt it before this even happened, and it was none other than like the wrestler who successfully defended their title in their Part 2 greatest women's match of 2024, I guess you could say, and that is the CEO herself, Mercedes Moné, and this is where she came out with her TBS title with her already New Japan Women's Strong Championship over on the table with a glass of the bubbly, I guess you could say, like with Chris Jericho that says it the best, like the bubbly, and it is where that she shout out to the Asheville, because they were located on tonight's AEW Dynamite, and this is where that she tells everybody to say hello to their cutest ever operator, and this where then this is where I hilariously say, hey, hello, like if I'm Chris Jericho. And anyways, where we got she's like, I want to wish everybody a happy New Year's to me. And then I was like, yeah, why not? And then this where then she then showed like the what year that she had in 2024. Like would start off with her making her debut over to AEW in big business in her hometown of Boston. And then we got what else happened? And it was and then they showed, I guess, that is going at number 10, and then at number 9, winning the TBS championship, and then at number 8, I believe, was her having a match at Capital Collision. Number 7, it was. And number 7 was winning the New Japan Strong Women's Championship against Stephanie Vaquer, but they didn't really show her, which I'm not sure if I should even mention her by name, given that she's on the competition now, and she's going after their developmental brands top prize. But yeah. Which I believe the CEO herself won that championship, which I'm not sure if I should mention it by name, but this is where we got. This is where they showed number 2, I believe, was Kristen Statlander taking on what's her name? Her taking on Kristen Statlander at Full Gear about a couple of months ago, and then we got and then finally number 1 goes to her match against Suzuki for the last time she held she defended the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, which was at Strong Style Evolve, like the New Japan pay-per-view, and that's when we saw Mina Shirakawa was the next challenger, like when Mercedes asked for another what's that called? for a challenger and an open challenge for her next title defense for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, which that's going to take place at the Tokyo Dome at New Japan / AEW's crossover pay-per-view Wrestle Dynasty. And this is where we got the CEO herself then and said let's talk about Wrestle Dynasty because we got. I will defend my title against Mina Shirakawa, which she's holding that very beautiful women's British championship from Rev Pro, which that's going to be on the other side of my shoulders, along with my Strong and TBS championships, respectively. And then she was and I was like, yeah, I hope she does win. So one, because she can collect some gold, because she really deserves it. She's doing some great work in All Elite Wrestling. And I just know how to collect gold, being the female Kenny Omega of AEW. And also, secondly, so we can end the reign of terror of the creepiest women's wrestler of all of professional wrestling, that being Mina. With all due respect, I just don't. I think she's a really great wrestler, but when it comes to personally, I don't know. But yeah, she could be a little too friendly, which I might have said over 150,000 times. But anyways, where we got. But this where then she told her that's what something I want. That is more gold, and this where just I'm going after that Rev Pro championship, and you're gonna be calling me 3-belt money, which I think that's what something down the line. And this where did she's and so I'm gonna drink to that Happy New Year, and then this where did she started doing her money dance. This where did this where I was phew, that was a close one, or maybe I'm speaking too soon because I thought Mina Shirakawa would come out and interrupt her celebration. Which that would be so rude of her. That must have been the rudest thing that she ever did. Even though she's more of a polite person, but this where luckily she let her have her moment. Maybe Mina wasn't there. Maybe she's too busy defending her Rev Pro championship, or maybe not because she has that belt that's scheduled to defend against the CEO for her New Japan championship. Who do you think's gonna walk out New Japan Strong Women's Championships? Leave a comment down below, and y'all probably already know who's your favorite Assassins predictions on, but we're gonna move on to the next slide. But luckily, we got the CEO Mercedes Moné left the building safe, with both her belts in hands, after her mini celebration segment. But this is where they showed all the organizations of charities that helped out with the Hurricane Helene incident that occurred a few months ago, and destroyed every citizens and families and everybody's house in the city. But they luckily that they made a difference. In AEW joined in with the AEW Together, which you can visit the website and you can and give a donation or whatever you have to AEW's little charity organization, I guess you could call it. But this is where we got AEW then rolled out the red carpet because it was the end of the celebration, and that's very sad to explain. But this was something it turned into the sadness, the happiness, I should say, because this is where we got Dax the Axe, Uncle Dax the Axe, with him always being a generous type, give a large sum of money check to one of the workers of the charity organization, and this where they gave a big hug to him, and this where they thank Uncle Dax the Axe, the donate more money into this little project of what's that called what's that called renovation and getting everything back like it was, or if not better than before, but anyways, it's where we got the backstage interview with the former undisputed but now they're called the Undisputed Kingdom, which was Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. This is where then Adam Cole had said the Undisputed Kingdom was now complete. And I was like, no, like, I don't think you're complete because you're missing one guy in particular. And I sure hope that he does make that return to AEW so y'all can be complete just like y'all were at the other company's developmental brand. But this is where we got Adam Cole's like, trust me when he adds like 2025 will be their year. And I sure hope that is the case because these guys are the best and and these guys won championship gold before at the same time. And I sure hope that does happen down the lines. Even though I see that the Outrunners are winning the tag team championship, like maybe they can win the trios championships for now, and maybe we can even see one of them, like most specifically Adam Cole, win some singles gold on top of that. That would be very interestingly great to see. But that's probably a conversation for a different day. But this is where Kyle O'Reilly steps in, and this is where the Kyle O'Reilly's like, yeah, we're a tag team, we're singles matches, and even triple threat. You know what I mean? Right? This is where Ryan Shaw, like I can say it my better than myself. Like I'm gonna guarantee myself into the singles gauntlet match, and when I do, in the casino gauntlet, and you fellas already know, prepare for yourself on what I'm gonna bring into this brotherhood of the Undisputed Kingdom. Is where then Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly glad we wish them the very best of luck, and that's what Roddy Strong that came to get ready for his triple threat match, which I'm gonna give it the silver trophy of the night next to Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart, and it was absolutely entertaining. At the end of at the end of the match, it was even more very interesting because it leads on what's next for Swerve Strickland, even though he should be continuing the feud with Bobby Lashley, but unfortunately that's going to be put on hold until he ends this program with this particular wrestler, unless he joins Bobby Lashley, given that they have a common enemy. But let's get started to the triple threat match, which is things get started with one of them was who am I gonna start off with first? It's where it was Swerve. I don't have time for this. I'll choose who to start off with. This was me with you, Jay, and this is where he hits the right hand to Jay White. Then he does the same with Roddy Strong. This is where then he didn't go for a right hand onto both men. This is where Roddy Strong tried to go for a German foot, but this is where we got Swerve Strickland in the back elbow. It's where both White and Strong started getting some kicks right into the gut, hit some strikes with their right hands. This is where they go for a double Irish whip on the Swerve Strickland. This is where Swerve can go for a cartwheel flip right to the left side, throws Roddy right to the left side, hits a knife fist chop on Jay White along with Roddy Strong. This is where we got Swerve Strickland threw Jay White right to the right side. This is where Roddy Strong gets a knife edge chop. Irish whip him right to the from the right side to the left side. This is where Swerve Strickland counters out of Roddy Strong's toss. This is where he then toss him and turn and then and slide around onto him and hit a suplex, a vertebrae suplex. Let me rephrase that, damaging that vertebrae of the former international champion. Then he goes and gets back flipping dive right onto Jay White with him saying I'm carrying the gun here in AEW, and this is where he then pop it off to start off the new year right, even though that's more of Jay White's team, but I couldn't see nobody. But at the same time, Swerve Strickland showed that there could be nobody else that could do it better than White other than himself. This is where then what's that? Swerve Strickland then got back up, started doing was making sure that he that Jay White actually did kick out. This is where then he picks up Swerve Strickland and slide. Then he goes for a discus right hand to the face on the Roddy Strong. This is where we got Jay White kicks him in the gut along with Roddy Strong, hit a double DDT on the both men. This is where we got Jay White and Swerve Strickland hit the knife edge chops repeatedly right onto one another, hit an elbow uppercut slash right into the Swerve Strickland right to the bottom left side. Then he went diagonal to Roddy Strong, did the same to him. Swerve Strickland tried to go for a splash on him, but this is where we got Jay White flips him right over, hit the face first round to the apron. This is where we got Jay White. Then and then try to throw Roderick Strong right to the top corner side, but he ends up getting countered by the former international champion. This is where we got Jay White hang on to the ropes. This is where we got Roderick Strong trying to go for a clothesline. Jay White flips him right over the top rope, right into the top corner side. This is where then we got, and this is where we got this is where then we got Jay White then picks up Swerve Strickland. This is where then we got him then picks him up like into like a Falcon Arrow maneuver, but he flips him right over, hit him back first, like with him still standing. However, this is where Jay White then did the same to Roderick Strong, but this time it was with Roderick Strong's face. This is where then Jay White's like, yeah, like I got the bangs like in this piece, like don't you guys? And this is where fans like, hell yeah, you do. This is where Jay White to try to hit the spinning Uranagi slam, but Roderick Strong countered it into a half Nelson backbreaker. And man, like if it wasn't for the main event, this match would have been the number one golden trophy of the night because these guys just know how to put on a good match, like period. Like no matter if they're fighting somebody that has like years of experience and that's doing some great work, like just like as much as they are, or like if it's somebody that's like I'd say botchmania, like they know how to make it work. Like, yeah, all three of these guys, both the Switchblade and then yeah, Strong and yeah, Swerve. But yeah, this is where we got, let's see what happened next. It was but this is where we got this is where we got But that's where we got everybody like was in a Tower of Doom situation with I believe like Jay White was about to get avalanche back suplex by Swerve Strickland, but it's Roderick Strong that hit the back suplex onto him or something like that. That's where they both fell out. Is where fans start chanting for Swerve, like and fans start chanting Swerve's house, while Prince Nana shouted right back at him saying whose house it is, and fans were saying Swerve's house because yeah, every house in wherever AEW show taking place at, it's Swerve's house, and that's a good reminder from the former AEW World Champion to let everybody know that it is his house, and it's where Swerve Strickland Irish whip Jay White right to the upper right corner side, clothesline him, hits a forearm strike right onto Roderick Strong. Then hits another one, sends him right to the opposite side, the upper left side is where then he looked like about to hit a what's that called? A dragon screw, but it's where he had a better idea. Hit like a back suplex, like backbreaker onto the Undisputed Kingdom member. This is where he then try to go for a buckle bomb, making him land right onto Jay White, right to the upper right side. This is where we got, but. That's where they showed Swerve Strickland picks up Jay White. Then it turned to a power slam. That's where he probably got away with it. Like if it wasn't for that meddling, I'll say strong neck, son of a biscuit iced tea chicken hotcakes, man. Which I'm not sure if that's the best way to describe him is, but this is where then we got. But this is where then Roderick Strong goes for a wrist lock, hit the knife edge chop on Jay White. This is where he hits the sliding drop kick, like looks similar to a Claymore kick, like a certain Scotsman does. This is where this is where he hits what's it called? Olympic slam onto Jay White. This is where then he goes for a double underhook into a tiger driver. Actually, this is where he try to go for a high stack pin. But this is where Jay White kicks out at the last second, so close at 2.999. But that's where we got. But that's where we got Roderick Strong to try to go for a half Nelson again. But this is where Swerve Strickland got and attacked him and interrupted him, getting some little bit of payback. And we did not know, the Lord knows, if that was a double whammy hit or not really a guaranteed, lightning does not strike twice kind of situation, whatever it was. But yeah, this is where we got Roddy Strong, however, then started some elbow strikes and then some forearms and punches, and then he went right to the top corner side, but his leg must have gave out because this is where Swerve Strickland had a running version of the Swerve Stomp right in front of Roderick Strong. This is where Roderick Strong was down right to the right side. And this is where Swerve Strickland you know what time it is where then fans are like, yeah, your house, and now it's time for you to call it. This is where he tried to go for the house call. But this is where Roddy Strong moved right out of the way. But once he landed right back on his feet, Jay White got back in the ring, tried to hit the Blade Runner, but this is where Swerve Strickland to try to go for a big pressure, but this is where at first he just decided like shrug emoji. He pushed like what the heck, and this is where he pushes Jay White more likely the term like right into Roderick Strong. This is where then I believe he did attempt to go for the big pressure. No, he went for a wheelbarrow roll, but it rolls him right through, right into the left side to hit a rolling flatliner. Just where Swerve Strickland like. Hit with my signature, and I stopped my finisher, which we all know that's the Swerve Stomp. This is where we got Roddy Strong trying to ruin it by trying to grab onto the leg of Swerve. But this is where he hits a knife edge chop right onto what's his name, onto Roderick Strong. This is where Swerve is like, wait a second, like he's like, I know it. And then Swerve Strickland then hits a pump boot right into the face. This is where then Swerve Strickland then right into the Strong's face, where the fans like y'all know what time it is. Where like he's about to hit a swerve stomp or some move to Jay White right into the top corner side. But it's where he decided to hit a pump right to the face. But once he got right off, when he was doing his pose, this is where we saw somebody in a very I'll say raspberryish blue color, like a blue cover suit, like something similar to a certain phenomenal wrestler wore when he faked his retirement about like almost a year ago in order to get a shot at the top prize at the other company's show. And this is where we saw Ricochet came in and stuck Swerve in the head with something sharp, and it was some golden scissors, which I was about to say. He's about to get the crime award of the night because he attempted murder. So yeah, like I'm sorry, Ricky, but yeah, you did this to yourself. But this is where we got. But this is where the referee didn't do nothing about, because given it was the no disqualification rules and the triple threat match, it's where we saw Roderick Strong throws back Jay White in the ring. This is where it was only the former international champion taking on the former IWGP champion in the ring. This is where he was about to hit the end of Heartache, but this is where Jay White intercepted him, jumped right in front, and hits him with the Blade Runner out of nowhere, like if it's the three most destructive letters in all of pro wrestling, to get the 1, 2, 3, to emerge the number one seed spot of the gauntlet match. And a humongous congratulations to Jay White. And yeah. And who do you think is going to win the gauntlet match? Do you think it's going to be a certain rated R wrestler, or do you think it's somebody else that's going to be entering into the gauntlet match that you can think of in mind? Let me know in the comment. This is where Jay White's like, yeah, I told you I'm back on track, and I'm putting on the back of the helmet, like, because I'm about to go to war, like in the gauntlet match. But this is where we saw Ricochet got in. This is where then was not done yet with Swerve Strickland, which at first he just let Swerve crawl back, try to get back on his feet, with Ricochet taking off his light blue raspberry jacket. This is where Prince now tried to stop him, even trying to take the pair of golden scissors out of his hands. But this is where Ricochet like, you better step back and stay out of this, or else you're gonna end up just like your client or boss or whatever you want to call him. This is where then. But this is where wherever he is to you, this is where he starts stucking it right in the head even more. This is where fans start booing. This is where he starts squeezing on one side, just trying to take him out of his misery. Well, or put him in his misery, I should say, because he just wouldn't stop. He starts stucking it right to his head until he started hitting some right hands to the face. And this is where then hit him with a headbutt, like which to the point that he got some of Swerve's blood stains on his head. And yeah, and I forgot to tell you, like Swerve's Swerve's face was nothing but covered in with the red stuff. Like it was leaking down right to his face, like similar to when he was like when Samoa Joe made him busted open, like when he used those pair of chains where he balled up in his hands, started punching it right into Swerve's head. That's what it was kind of similar towards that, but this time it was Ricochet stuck the pair of scissors that look very super sharp, like it could be like look like a knife rather than some scissors, is where cutting devices, like with two pointy snippers, I guess you could say. But this is where then we got That's where Ricochet then hit the chair. Right, that's where he started attacking what's his name, Prince Nana, with a chair that he had in hand, and just started whacking it right into poor Nana's back. This is where then yeah, this is where then he laid him out right into the side until he got Swerve Strickland like on the chair. This is where like well at first he sat on the chair. He's like, how you feeling now, Swerve? Like how's your head doing? Like like maybe you should rest. Like maybe you should rest on this chair here. This is where he hits a big headbutt right onto Swerve Strickland. This is where he's like yeah, like take a seat. Like what are you waiting for? And this is where and he's like and be my and let allow me to make you feel comfortable with this very with this very pliable pillow I'm about to pass to you. This where then this where he slide right into. That's where he went right to the upper right corner side when he got swerving onto the chair. This is where then he hits the clothesline right into his face, and Ricochet confirmed that he is now a heel, like with this attack onto Swerve Strickland, with like something that Ricochet had never done before. And I was like, man, like how come the other company couldn't think of an idea to make him this version of himself, like with this very maniacal version, I guess you could say. But it's where we got Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly came in there, but unfortunately the damage has been done. But luckily, luckily the Undisputed Kingdom members came for the rescue, to bring some help out there, and help was on the way. Luckily, this is where they brought him right to the back because he look at his very worst. If you ask me, like a worse version when he got brutally beaten by Samoa Joe in that contract signing segment back in April, was it? Or was it March? Either way, it was worse than that. My point is, but this is where they got the paramedics and wiped the blood off his head, with a very with a very sanitized towel, I guess you could say. But before they took him back to the doctor's room, I guess you could say. But this is where we got hooked and send a message to Christian Cage, that he's gonna come after him, and he challenged him in a match at AEW's Maximum Carnage show, which was announced right here. But it's where he also let him know that his Red Room is gonna be so unforgivable. It's not gonna be the same like when the last time you encountered it. He's like, why don't you ask your stepson, Nicholas Wayne, how he felt when I locked it in this past last Friday, on Rampage. But yeah, what are your thoughts on to this match, and who do you think is going to walk out victorious on this night? I sure hope it will be Hook, and maybe we could see Christian Cage can bounce back from this loss and cash in his contract and try to get a win of the night. Just like those that have guaranteed contracts to cash in for a championship, that sometimes do cash in, when they lose either one at the same night or even the previous night, on a very special event. But do you think that's going to be happening and be the same case in the next 14 days with Christian here? Or what are your thoughts? Or do you think he's going to get a win and settle for that? Or do you think he's going to get the win and go cash in his contract, and whoever wins the AEW World Champion, or even in the middle of the match, and do you think he could be the AEW World Champion? If this is the case, let me know in the comments down below. But this is where we got a backstage interview with Alex Marvez, then asking questions to Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh, and Jay Lethal about their uncle Jeff Jarrett. This is where it's how I haven't seen him in weeks. Do you know how he's been doing for the past few weeks? Have you talked to him since he's been absent in AEW? Just where what's his name? Jay Lethal's yeah, of course I've been talking to him, silly head, but right now, he's not answering us right now, because he said he needs some time alone, and this is where Jeff Jarrett finally came in. This is where what's his name? Jay Lethal he's back here, so we don't have nothing to worry about, because it's not been too long since we seen him. This is where Jeff Jarrett let everybody know this is gonna be a big night for him, because he has a very special announcement, and this is where Jay Lethal did. And it's what Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal's we want to make sure that you whatever decision that you have to make it involves with zero regrets, and then this is where it's gonna make and then it's gonna whatever decision we make, we're gonna make sure that 100% unregrettable. This is where he's and I appreciate that from you boys. This is where them got Karen Jarrett was hey, I get. And this where it's like, yeah, like this where it's like in June, like yeah, like I want to let you know, like this business brought us together, and I was like, gee, like that sounds very similar to another couple, like or maybe future couple. But anyways, where we got Karen Jarrett's like yeah, like you, like I see you. Yeah, like I see you being broken to time to time, honey. Like, but what's in your heart? Like, that's what makes this so hard right here, though. Like, but like whatever you want, I want as well. And this is where then Jeff Jarrett didn't show what exactly he wanted when he brought his boots. When his wife Karen Jarrett brought his gave him his boots so he can bring him out to the ring along with his guitar that he normally used to smash his opponents in the head with. This is where then this where then Jeff Jarrett's like, yeah, I guess we'll get started. Like, Slappy New Year to you guys in Asheville, North Carolina. This is where fans start chanting welcome back. This is where then Jeff Jarrett then started telling the story about how he got into the wrestling industry in the first place, but it all started with his grandmother, started selling wrestling tickets for a living, like when times were tough. And it was not so easy for in his life, like when it came to stuff financially, like when them being damn near poor. And then this where he's like, and because of her selling wrestling tickets, like in Nashville, I mean not Nashville, Tennessee, like that's what motivated like my father to get into the wrestling business, and even owning a promotion and becoming a promoter like for over 40 years. The other company's new wrestling partners that used to be in their competition. Like, and this is where he said like he created that company like after like when like things didn't go well with a company he used to work for, and I was like, yeah, I wonder who he's referring to. And then this where then he said like and it's still like and it's like and then it brought in some of the most talented and incredible wrestlers in this business, and it's still doing it to this day. This is where fans start cheering on with him, and this was like, and he's like, and I'm not in a hurry to quickly to hang up these boots for good. Like because like I want to win title gold, like world championship gold, even or whatever you want to describe it as. This is where he's like, and yep, like, and I'm referring to the world title scene. Yeah, I will, and he confirmed that he is re-signing with AEW, but it's gonna be his final contract as an in-ring full-time talent. Yeah, that's what he said in the promo. And then he's going to be entering the Casino Gauntlet match next week on the January 8th edition of Dynamite. And then and this is where I was like, good. Like, even though he's in his 60s, but that doesn't matter when it comes to still feel like but if your body does not say no, like I mean, if your body doesn't say I guess it's time to call it a day. Like, I don't think it's that time to call it a day. You listen to what's in here and not what's what you're think about in the future, because your future is like a long way. Like, it's just like another, I'll say, century, like metaphorically speaking. Like, but yeah, like, but I think Jeff Jarrett made the best decision. But let me know in the comments below, like, if you think that if Mr. Jeffrey Jarrett did so, and if he made the right decision, and do you think and do you want to see him be a future world champion? Which, on my opinion, I hope he does down the lines, with his last run. Like, hopefully, like Anthony Khan, give him that opportunity and give him that commitment to have at least one miniature reign. Like, I'm not sure if miniature is the right term. Maybe I guess just get one I'll say one decently memorable reign with the world champion, even though he's like a dozen-time world champion as well, but not with AEW though. And I mean, he's not they haven't won world championship gold over the competition, only their mid-card belt in particular, which that mid-card belt is a Monday night exclusive belt, which I'm not going to get into right now because this is not the right day to talk about that. But anyways, or night, I should say, given that it's the nighttime. But yeah, this is where Jeff. And this is where then and then this where the Jeff Jarrett was like yeah, like we like this where then like it. And that's why then he ended it saying like yeah, and he's like so like let's like so I gotta make this count. And what the phrase he said like Jeff Jarrett in the end, Jeff Joy said like at the end of the promo like of letting him know that this is gonna be his last deal that he's gonna be doing like not just AEW but overall. And then this where before he got in that, this where he did a very cool spot where it looked like he's about to retire. He's like, and this where he's like, and this is what the question I keep asking myself. Like he's like, should I just call it a day or a night? I should say, like given what time it is. Like, and this where it's like, and he's like, and my response is. What y'all all would want is hell no. This is where fans start like, yeah, we would like to, like we like, like we like to hear the sound of that. Like you're not going to be retiring, like nowhere even close to that. Is where that's what Jeff. He's like the farm that keep coming to my mind, like it's Jeff. Like when you're taking the biggest risk of your life, like you got the biggest reward. Like when you take the biggest risk, you take the biggest reward. And then this is where he's like, and I hope this last one, like you, you will see me becoming like world heavyweight champion. And it's where then he said like that's because he wants to be AEW's world heavyweight champion. And do you think he will be like in this last run with as a pro wrestler or what? When do you think he's going to be like if you think he's going to be world champion, when do you think what year is going to take place and what time? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. That's very interesting to see. But yeah, Jeff Jarrett has been like one of the most I'll say iconic figures in the business, maybe like somewhat controversial as well at the same time. But I'd still say that he's well established like with wrestling in the wrestling industry, like wrestling industry being like the wrestling industry like what made his life change for the better because like he was about to go to college for basketball and become a professional basketball player, but he dropped out like to join this industry like which this was probably a huge payout like because like it's like they said like the biggest risk comes the biggest rewards and I guess at this with his like time in wrestling like that was the complete understatement of the century if I'm being completely honest of course but but yeah let's move out let's move on into the next slide. Let's talk about this way we got Powerhouse Hobbs then took on these two enhancement guys, which I'm trying to remember their names, but I totally forgot. This where he just completely squashed him, tossed him around, hits one with a double A spine buster while he ended with the other one being a double A spine buster. But before I continue to talk about more about AEW, I always forgot to tell you that it was Konosuke Takeshita that defeated Powerhouse Hobbs, while Thunder Rosa failed to successfully defeat what's her name Mariah May, which Mariah May like ended like the match like even though she even which I totally forgot like I heard about what happened on the match. We saw them like taking it all over the arena like I kind of predicted that was going to be the case because this is going to be a Tijuana street fight and it's where we like was hitting each other move after move after move, including their finishers until like we got Mariah May got the upper hand of distracting what's her name what's her name what's her name Mariah May like going for like miss like breaking her in the eyes or something like that, and this is where then she hit her with a with the what's it called the what's that the Storm Zero? Yeah, she hit the storm right through the table on the Rosa, and she gets the 1, 2, 3 that way, and but that's where we got a little backstage interview. I'm not interview backstage segment with what's her name Mariah May saying like that she's the She is what she said. She's the queen of hell or something of some sort. But yeah, like but it's not really irrelevant. Only just saying like that she's gonna do the same like what she did to Thunder Rosa this past Saturday to anybody that tries to think that they can beat her for her AEW Women's Championship, which she bragged like she been AEW women maybe for almost half a year now, and she's been proving everybody wrong, which that may be true. Like, which I gotta give credit when credit is due. Like for like Mariah May is doing some very impactful stuff, like with that women's championship. But the thing is, I just cannot wait for that title to be dethroned and being given by somebody else. But that's a different story for a different day. But moving on, we got a backstage interview with Alex Marvez, which amazingly, like we haven't seen no signs of the unmarkable Renee Paquette, which she must have took the holidays off of the New Year, I guess you could say, because she the one thing I gotta hand it to her, she works all year round, except for probably at the end, which who could blame her on that one, in that caliber, of course. But yeah, I guess but I hope she's having a much better holiday, like at home, rather than she would have gotten at work because she's just not like what's that word? I'll say she's not doing her very best at her job right now. So maybe it's for the best, like for her to just set this out until another week. But this is where we got. This is where we got what's his name? At first, like looked like that a big deal was what's that called? Was about to say nice words about Asheville fans, like stating that this is a nice, lovely city, isn't it? This is where then Brian keep like it's all right. Like, and I start cracking up, but he gets the silver trophy, which I normally give him the number one golden spot, but that went to who was it? I gave it to. It was well, I gave it to Prince Nana. That's who I gave. But yeah, this is where he said it. It's all right. But this is where Big Bill's like, yeah, he's right. It is all right. And this is where we got Alex Marvez was like, wait, like you're missing somebody. Like, that's right. Y'all's teacher, Chris Jericho. And this is where then he's like, well, he's not coming here tonight. Like, yeah, he decided it's he just don't want to. He just don't want to pay a visit to the city, like for whatever reason, like, but it's probably for a good one. So, like, we're just gonna leave it alone for now, like what, like of that particular of that purpose, like why. This is where it's like, but this is where he saw somebody that. Right in front of them, and it was the guys that were getting ready for their match against the Death Riders that was rated FTR. Just where it was like, whoa, hometown heroes! Like, look at them, like, look at the crew. And this is where then Adam Copeland's like, oh, like what? Like I thought I would never meet this guy, and it's the guy that everybody claims that looks like me. And this is where he's like, but this is where I look at it like, oh, like hey, how's it going? This is where the Big Bill's like, I'm not sure who should be more ashamed like right now, like y'all three, like. Being proud of Asheville or Asheville of the people of Asheville or being proud of you guys. And then this is where the Dax the Axe like was trying not to laugh that much, but he just couldn't help it. He had a couple of chuckles out, like, and he's like, which I would really blame him for saying that, like, which that was the most hilarious thing that he's ever said in wrestling. But this is where Big Bill was like, and this was like, and at the and what the learning tree says, your home will find itself, and then this was like, and that's what. And that's what it is like in Asheville is that we're the hometown heroes, like, of course, like, need to be taken down a branch or maybe even two or maybe three. And this where then and this where Brian keeps like, yeah, like you rated our dumbass. Yeah, which I'm sorry, but for that line, platinum goofy wrestling, yeah. But I'll say getting the silver trophy, of course. But yeah, he's gonna tie with the intro of the Lose Control song, like being the intro. Which let me know in the comments if that's a one-off or is that gonna be like the new theme song leaning forward of AEW's Dynamite shows on 2025. But this is where we got Dax the Axe was like, what are you talking? And And this way it's you're just like this little Jericho's little pet like that, just keeping a little of his piece right here. You got you got to really prove anything. You're not a bad apple. He's like, yeah, like you're not a bad apple. You're like a little ragged tumbleweed that's bouncing off the ground. And I start cracking up yeah, Adam did not just actually said this. Like, it is where he's like, and that's for you, Big Bill. Like, yeah, you, Redwood. Oh God, your face is so stupid. You just look like you look like a wannabe of somebody that I know. Like, oh, that's right, that's me. And he's like in Asheville, North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina, actually, because he was challenging the learning tree in the match. With him and FTR taking on Jericho and his faction. And this is, I was like, yeah, this is where I started doing the dance of joy. I'm like, yes, this is the dream match that I need in my wrestling life. And who do you think is going to win this match? And what's y'all's reaction when y'all heard the Rated R Superstar like challenging them in this type of match this Saturday, which it had me excited to make a review of AEW Collision this weekend. But yeah, but give me your opinions in the comment section right down below. What's your thoughts on it? But this is where we got Jericho ended the confrontation segment with a bye guys, like taking a page out of his fellow Canadian wrestler. That's also a learning tree teacher as well. But yeah, this is where we got. That's where then we got the match. Then started right into the right onto the main event, like with Rated R FTR. Then immediately came out right after the Death Riders did. Is where we heard there was a sad news of the sad passing of legendary Sweet Daddy. What's his name? It was what? But yeah, this is what it was. Yeah. His name is Sweet Daddy Siki, like that sadly passed away, and I don't really know much about this guy, like let alone seen his matches before. But I want to give my condolences to the family and friends at this very sad and unfortunate condolences at this very sad time. But moving on to the end of the match, the end of the show, which is the match tonight. But this is where we got. But before we got the match started, is where we saw a little vignette after the powerful force in all of pro wrestling. Is where the MJF that was one hell of a fight. I finally took care of the Adam problem and then finished things started with him and put that to rest. But now I got another problem with a man that's prancing around carrying my Triple B championship in a briefcase. And I'm like, yeah, that's completely ridiculous. And it's getting contaminated in the disgusting toxic water from Cincinnati. This is where we got MJF was referring to Mr. Jonathan Moxley because he called the nickname that he used to call him back 4 years ago, back in 2020, especially when he was in that interview with my boy Adam Wilborn from One Culture Wrestling, calling him Dictator John. He was like, yeah, so Dictator John. I was like, yeah, I totally forgot. He used to call him this. But this is where Max was what I'm thinking, buddy. Once again, if you're talking to someone like me, you're talking to a god, and I mean, there's nobody. I mean, nobody. I am on the level of the devil. I'm like, I don't go that far, but he does have a point about John Moxley carrying in a suitcase because that's completely ridiculously weird because shouldn't you be carrying it with your hands or with your arm or around your waist because that's what it's there for. But it's where MJF is nobody better than you, do they, Jonathan? He started cracking up if he really is the devil. This was even though I don't agree with this, with him being all about being compared to the most hated man in the universe. But it's where but I would say I agree. Hopefully anybody that does take that belt off, gets a friend of the assassin. This is what MJF was And this is where it's like, and I will get my triple B back, whether if it's in hell or in high waters. Like, and this is where it's like, like, yeah. And he's like, because 2025, like, when the devil gets his due, like, in this way, under the tent, is like, then I do. And this is where, like, all the blood on his face, like, in his face, like, if he literally is the devil himself, if he was a very cool wrestler, like, if it's Trigon from Teen Titans, like, looking like a very main event level wrestler, like just like someone like Maxwell Jacob Freeman. But yeah, what's your thoughts on MJF like going after Jonathan Moxley? After he finished off his feud with Orange Cassidy, Hangman Adam Page, and Jay White for now. And do you think that MJF could be a possible contender that could be the one to dethrone Moxley, like he did like a few years ago, back in 2023, like when he beat him at that year's Full Gear? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But that's a good question. But let's move on. We're gonna move on to the 6-man tag match. And yeah, it's, you guessed it. Like I already told you before, it's getting the golden trophy of the best match of the night. And yeah, this is where the fans were giving the biggest ovation to the Rated FTR, the hometown heroes of the city of Asheville, and this is where they're like, "Hey!" when Justin Roberts said where the FTR from, like, which is Asheville, North Carolina. This is where they're like, "Yeah!" Our donation heroes, like that's making a big difference of the cleanup of the mess of the Hurricane Helene mess that the hurricane left it. I believe the homeless man was riding into that wave, and then this is where and this is where like he must have went back to Orlando because he was nowhere to be found. I'm like, what kind of man he is? Like even though he probably don't have enough money to help out like with donations, but at least he could the least he could do is to help out, making a difference by showing some support, like going down there and cleaning up Hurricane Helene is made in the city of Asheville. But it's whatever. Like he can be a little loopy and off like sometimes. So yeah, but without any like questions about a man that loves riding in hurricane rides, this is where we got and I believe recklessly, I should say that is. But it's where we got Dax the Axton grapple with Willa Yuta, starting things off with that little weasel that's kissing the foot and the rear end of Jonathan Moxley, which I don't understand why. But this is where we got Uncle Dax the Axton was like, okay, okay, little big boy. Like, yeah, show me what you got. This is where he goes for a grapple. This is where we got Willa Yuta push him right to the side. This is where he pat him on the chest when the referee stopped him at fourth, like in the count. This is where then he's like, yeah, like here you go, like yeah. Be my guest is where we got Willa Yuta to go for arm drag. This is where Dax the Axton. He got back up and he hit with a big right hand right to the left side of the jaw. That's where Dax the Axton was like, oh, like you think you're all tough, like, huh? Like with that right hand. Like I got hit with worse moves, and that is where he started hitting, popping up the knife edge chops, which I believe he earned the #1 and only spot of Gunther's envy list. Like, which he better watch out of the Lean Agenda now, because what if he did join this promotion, or if there was any capacity that Dax the Axton I left because the contract expired here in All Elite Wrestling, and then going over to the competition happens. Like I think he should better watch out for that guy, or else he's gonna chop him into probably 10 billion pieces, like if I'm being completely honest. But this is where we got Dax the Axton dips Willa Yuta right to the upper right corner side to the bottom left. This is where he hits a body drop. This is where we got Dax the Axton stomping on the hands. This is where he hits a knife edge chop even more. This is where then he eventually brought in the Rated R Superstar tag team, while Willa Yuta then went out there tagging Claudio Castagnoli in the process, but then shoulder tackling each other. And I was like, you know who else is missing off the apron is Jon Moxley, and nobody did knock him off. Like I guess he was too cowardly to face the Rated R Superstar. Why else he's not there, demanding to get tagged in if that's not the case? But this is where we got Adam Copeland showing him that he's not afraid of him. Like, and he's coming after first champ. This is where Claudio go for a knife edge. I mean, not knife edge, but European upcut, because that's the only man within the list of enviness, like of the Jenna now, like the knife edge chop. This is where we got Adam Copeland. And It gets a side headlock by Claudio Castagnoli. That's where Claudio Castagnoli, well, I get hit right here, right here, left side. He gets shoulder tackles where Adam Copeland go for a headlock. This is where he gets dipped right to the right and then go to the left. But this is where we got Castagnoli trying to go for a headlock, but he gets dipped on the right side to the left side. This is where we got Adam Copeland go for a slide. Claudio then try to roll up his way, but this is where Adam Copeland they go for him. This is where this is where Adam Copeland grab on the one them to Claudio and tosses him right into the left side, making him fall right into the concrete floor. He was like, "Oh, my back," because I think he hit the metal side piece part of the apron. And this was like, yeah, that does not look good. This is where we got Adam Copeland to hit a baseball sliding kick right into the face, where he is face first. Onto the apron, which is the hard part of the ring. But it's where when the referee wasn't looking at his back turn, being distracted with somebody from FTR, is where was it Willie Yuta or somebody? I think it was Willie. No, it was Claudio Castagnoli, just where Marina Shafir then hits what's his name, Adam Copeland face first round to the ring post. I'm like, man, like where is Beth when Adam needs her? Because like if she was there, like none of this would have happened. But this is where we got. What else happened on the match is where this is where we got John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli like we're double teaming on the Adam Copeland, and it's where we got them taking turns like tag teaming and beating the holy hell out of the Rated R Superstars. It's where them, but this is where we got Willie Yuta to go right up into. This is where we go for a clothesline.